Come on. Here we go.
Welcome to another episode with a live podcaster. Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Meloney P podcast. This is my first episode since my live episode, and I'm so excited to be here. We have a guest on the show today, Jason.
I'm back.
Please.
Back,
You're not reading cue cards.
I'm a friend to the show.
Here we go.
I'm back today.
Friend to the show, Lambo. I'm not sure if we're able to give your real name yet, but whatever. Welcome to the show, guys. I am feeling really, really, really good today. We're actually filming in our night clothes. Some of us own night clothes, some of us don't. I'm actually wearing, I gotta give a shout out, my That's Scary with Meloney P. That's scary. The That's Scary with Meloney P t-shirt. Jana, thank you. I know you're listening. The shirt looks really good, and if you cannot see it, that means you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, so make sure you do that. We always start every episode with a mental health check-in. So last week's episode, I'm sure you guys have seen it. I just realized my nails are not done. Oh my god, I gotta edit that part out. So last week's episode was the live taping of my show. It was the first time I've ever taped in front of an audience.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Were you nervous?
Nervous was not the word. So I want to kind of, this show is going to be mainly about kind of like talking about last week's episode, the build up to it. And then we have a few really good hot topics that we could not resist talking about this week. But as far as last week, so where am I at right now? Mental health, I'm feeling really good. I have, it's Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. And so I'm really trying to stay on a positive frequency before the work week begins. So I am feeling great. I'm going to say that I'm feeling great. I'm going to speak it. I'm feeling awesome. How are you feeling, Jason?
I'm good. You know, I wish it was still the weekend past this. So, but I am feeling good. Just enjoying the summer. Wanted the weekdays to last longer. Wanted to just be off for the summer, basically.
Right. God, I saw something online where it was saying like, they give these kids 3 months off, man. They need to give adults 3 months off. And I really am in agreement with that, man. Like, we are the ones that need 3 weeks or 3 free. I would be happy with 3 weeks, but give me 3 months off.
Well, that's why teachers are happy. You know, you wonder why
are they happy
do
though?
it. Well, I mean, that's part of the reason they'll teach for that time off, I would think.
Yeah, I guess.
Nice break.
Imagine if you had 3 months off. Let's just say 2 months. Imagine if you knew that you had a summer off. Imagine if as an adult, you knew that you had 2 freaking months off. Now, should it be paid or not? How would that work? Like in real life, like let's say this was a possibility. Would it be paid? Probably not. So I guess you would have to.
It might not be paid, but people are living this lifestyle,
right?
But much more than 2 months off.
Exactly, and 2 months is just like what 2 mortgages. You know what I'm saying? 2 power bills. I mean, shit. Like, and let's speak it into existence. That could be an option. So maybe there could be when this happens, or if this ever happens, it could be many options. Like, you could stretch your salary out to cover those months. You could opt not to do it. You could opt not to get paid. So I'm sure if we lived in a world where adults were able to have like 2 months off, there would be a lot of great options for this, but we can dream, can't we?
We have to dream,
it's definitely a dream, man. Ooh, shit. It's definitely a dream. I don't know. It's a dream. But anyway, we're feeling good. So back to last week's episode. Oh my God, y'all.
How'd it go?
Nigga, you was here. How'd it go?
Oh my God.
How did it go? That's a loaded question. Man, that show, I don't even know if I can put into words everything that I'm thinking. So like the show was a success. Let's just start there. The show was a success. I had about 20, 25 people in an audience for the first time when I filmed my episode last week. And I was nervous. Like, nervous was not the word. The more and more I saw people coming in that door, the more I was like, give me a drink, because I need to, like, and it's so scary because, like, the drinks weren't kicking in. Like, I think I drank a whole half a bottle of Jameson.
Sober, you know?
I know. I was too sober. Until the nighttime came,
right,
then
until afterwards,
then the demon came out, demon time. But that's a horrible phrase. But oh my God, like, I was drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking, trying my best to get a little bit tipsy before the show. And the more I drank, the more sober I felt, man. Like, yo, I'll say it was a learning experience, because I've gotten so many compliments for the people who was there, people who've heard the show, so many compliments and stuff. But just as a creator, as a podcaster for a little over a year, and as just my personality type, all I saw were the errors. Like, all I saw and all I heard were the errors. So for me, whereas everyone said that it was so great, it really was, and it was an awesome experience. But all I saw is, damn, next time I'm gonna do this differently, and next time I'm gonna do this differently.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
I'll speak from perspective. Everybody enjoyed it.
You're in the front row.
I was in the front row. It was nice to
have
a little bit of a studio audience to really get the blood flowing, and you handled it really well.
Yeah, on the outside I did.
The show was great. So
yeah, so
the
funny.
party was better after.
The party, even oh my God, ain't nothing like a whatever this place is party. My sister-in-law, she was saying how, like, she was sitting there in the audience and she was like, man, she is really cool as a cucumber. And she was like, she is really up here in front of all these people killing it. And all that I was thinking when she said that was, I was up there panicking. Like, when the show first started, I was stalling so much. Oh my God.
It was a good studio. It was a real atmosphere. I felt like it was on a talk show.
I was stalling. So I was totally stalling. So, like, one of my friends, Mia, friend to the show, obviously I love her. She was late, but low key, I was happy she was late because I was nervous as fuck. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm waiting for Mia to get here. But honestly, I was just nervous to start. So I just used that as like an excuse, But I realized that, people were getting antsy. And, right. People were ready to, like, see what we were here for. So I was like, okay, let's just get this shit started, man. I mean, that was probably like 20,000 shots in. I still was feeling so damn, like, not tipsy. So then finally I walked up to the front. I sat there, and, like, when I sat in that seat, I thought I was going to shit. I thought I was going to shit on myself. I was like, what am I doing? Like, all I kept thinking in my head is, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then, and at this point, I'm like, you know what, bitch? Just tell this nigga to tell my brother to play the music. And right. He did. And I was up there sweating. Like, sweat was dripping from my underarms. It was just like, this deodorant wearing off, this liquor is not kicking in. It was just crazy. But I feel like, once the show started officially, and I was able to kind of officially like, I always say when you're on the podcast, a lot of the guests, and including myself, I used to be, but I've done it so many times, but like, it used to be like, you'll sit in that chair for a good, like we're seeing now with Jason, you'll sit in that chair for about 5, sometimes 10 minutes before you warm up. And then once you warm up, no, nigga, you ain't warm.
I'm warm.
And then, let me feel. No. And then once you warm up, then it's like, okay, I mean, especially if you're a talker like we are, like, once you warm up, it just flows. But sometimes it takes a lot of people like about good 5 minutes to warm up.
Audience. That was it. It was just the initial studio audience. And this is going to be awesome. As I was saying, moving forward, we're ready. I know you've been ready, but having a studio audience atmosphere, first live show, it was special. It was a good experience. It was a lot of fun. It's always good to get a little bit of nerves up front on anything you do. So
it was definitely a learning. Like, for me, it was just learning. Like, it was so many things that I would have done differently. Like, I would have invested more time on my outline of my show. I would have had more time for the microphone.
For the
speakers. Like, I would have honestly, I would have invested more conversation into the audio, because that piece kind of made me a little bit upset. But not a big deal. And then, I think really the outline and the audio really were the main things that I would have kind of changed.
No, it was good. I mean, The audience had a little bit of feedback. They could.
Oh my God! And the audience now. Another thing I would. I'm sorry to cut you off, but another thing I would have changed was the audience. Now
they could add more questions.
Well, they could have had more questions, but honestly, they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't know. And again, that would have been, if I had kind of invested a little bit more time, I would have made, like, let everybody know in the invite and stuff, because it was private invite only. I would have let them know to make sure that they, think of some questions to ask, whatever. But also, I would have emphasized, this is a live taping, so you can't be having side conversations throughout the entire show. Now, that's another thing that I wish I would have really emphasized that I really didn't emphasize. And that made me nervous too. There were some side conversations, and it's all love, but there were some side conversations going on, and people, it was a lot of editing. So I'm sure you haven't heard the show, but I had to edit out a lot of stuff because of comments in the audience. And so if you listen to my show on the podcast or on YouTube, which I'm sure you already have, you'll hear where it just kind of cuts from one thing to another, because I had to edit out crazy. I had to what I had to do?
Had to rig it.
What kind of rig?
What you think? What type of rig?
We had a nigga rig it. So yeah, so I mean, other than that, I was just so blessed and honored to have everybody here. And then the after party, let me tell you something. I know I have listeners from all over, and I'm sure you will never get you probably will get to experience a party that I host, because I will be worldwide probably by next year this time, hosting parties and hosting events and stuff. I invite you, Jason.
I'll get in the back door.
Yeah, I'm sure you will get in the back door. But the party was everything. Like, we had a lot. I try my best to have have the drinks flowing, the food. We had amazing food. We had entertainment. Listen, we had entertainment.
We had everything.
We had everything. It wasn't a. I think I had a little bit of pasta salad, and I didn't get none of my friends banging chicken salad. I didn't get any chicken or anything. So I'm like, whatever, I don't even eat chicken like that. But other than that, man, the episode turned out well. For it to be my first one, it turned out really well, and I'm really,
ready
really
for the
grateful.
next. You ready for the next live show?
No time soon. I don't want.
We're ready for another live show.
I'm not ready to host any damn thing else in 2023 other than my baby's first birthday. Other than that, I don't want that.
That'll be a live segment on that.
That live show was the most draining thing I've probably ever been through in a very long time. Mentally draining, time draining. I think I'm just now getting rested. I think the house is just now getting back. I mean, it was just so much. So no time soon. But I will say that I likely will do a live taping on my 2nd year anniversary. Maybe not in the same location that I had it this year. Probably on a bigger scale.
For sure.
But definitely, I'm excited for the future for sure. How was your experience? You know what I'm saying? Being in the audience. So you had the dual experience. You were able to be in the audience, and you were able to be on the stage. So what was your perspective, sitting in the audience? And then what was your perspective, being on the stage? Were you nervous? Be honest.
Well, I was a little nervous for the first minute, but then I felt comfortable
after
that.
5 minutes.
No, I don't say. Probably the first 35 minutes. But I felt all right. The atmosphere and the crowd was good. There was, still, whatever side conversations weren't going to stop, the podcast from happening.
No, I couldn't stop. It was live. I couldn't stop.
You still were out there doing your thing on the, people just were, it was new for them. I don't know if they'd ever experienced a live podcast taping and the etiquette necessary to not, be niggeristic, but
listen,
you knew that was going to happen, man. People needing to take drink breaks in between.
Oh my God. People getting up, going to the bathroom, in the camera. People yelling speakers out, ho, and this. And I mean, honestly, I haven't even, it was one segment, and I won't name it, but it was one segment where there was a lot of conversation going on in the audience. And I haven't even built up enough courage
to take out the edits,
to listen to that segment.
Oh, you gotta listen to it and then throw out some of the crowd edits.
And honestly, honestly, our videographer, I think his name is, I'm gonna put it in the link because he did a really good job. I think it's the at the iBox. But anyway, he had like a certain system where he was able to hook up the audio directly to the microphone, so any kind of like audience noise wasn't prominent. But still, some of the stuff that I heard, I was like, I don't want to hear this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't even want to think about this shit being in my audio, so whatever. But it was good, man. Like I had people travel far. Like Keon came from Winston-Salem. Tiffany and her husband came from Sumter, which was so like, I was just so grateful for that. It was a lot going on, but it was awesome. I'm ready. Actually, I'm ready for next year. I'm ready to perfect the next live show.
We gotta perfect the live show soon. You know,
yeah,
a little bit. I mean, not all the way till next year. The live show is fun. The first one out of the way, you know.
Absolutely,
it's time because it's you know, it's just more goes on a live taping.
Exactly. All right, so listen, we're not gonna hold you guys too long because like we are saying, we are filming in our pajamas. What are we doing after this?
I don't know. Have another drink.
And then what?
Sit back and talk for a few minutes.
And then what?
Tasting.
Of what?
Who knows?
You're disgusting. All right, so we have a few hot topics, y'all. A few hot topics. I'm going to kick it off with the most hottest topic of this week. And I know you've heard the sound across America of Keke Palmer's baby daddy. What is his name? Darius. I'm not going to like honor him with a name because he is just everything I think is disgusting in men. But anyway, so Keke Palmer has a kid with Darius Dalton. And let me give you some background. So Keke Palmer, everyone knows that Usher is having his live residency in Las Vegas, and every time he has like a celebrity in the show or in the audience, he'll pull them up from the audience and sing to them, and it's very common. We know to expect it. So Keke Palmer has been very vocal about, you know, she just had a baby and she is loving her post baby body. Her body's looking good, she's looking amazing, and she's flaunting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's been pregnant for 9 months, just had a baby, you know, and everything's sitting right, and she's excited about it. So she has been very vocal about how she loves her new curves, right? So she went to the Usher Raymond residency in Las Vegas. She had on a really sexy, I think it was Givenchy, Fendi or something. What word? No, what word? No, I'm not sure what's been going on with you today because them words you've been saying are not real words. What word did you say at the restaurant? Series. Not a word.
I know, but it can be.
No, you thought it was a word before I told you it wasn't.
Series can be understood.
Series is not a word. It's series.
I didn't say it was a word.
You did.
No, I said it can be understood to make sense.
Okay, then that's a whole different series, not series. But anyway, so anyway, Keke Palmer, she had on her designer outfit, looking really, really good. She wears what most of us women wear. If you go out somewhere fancy, you know, we show off our body, whatever. You know, a sheer dress. So her baby's father said, "It's the outfit though, you a mom." He said, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others. And he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my reputation. I have standards and morals to what I believe in. I rest my case." Jason, what are your thoughts on this story?
Well, I mean, he has no case. He has no leg to stand on, you know, but he doesn't make any sense. This is 2023. It's not 1926 where a woman can't even go outside. This is not, you know, Sharia law where a woman needs to be head to toe. And even I think in Sharia law over in Afghanistan, you know, women are supposed to be covered. You know, in a lot of Muslim areas, women are covered.
Oh, I know.
Sharia by law, but we're not in an area, and even there, sometimes I think it can be less covered, but we're not living in those type of times. But this is the thing. It's not realistic. So I would ask him is what closet he has her locked up in every day. Because anytime she walks the streets, any man is going to be looking at her ass cheeks, her booty cheeks, her breasts, her titties, her face. Men are going to look at every single thing. As long as your woman's in the streets, niggas are going to look. So why the fuck do we care about them looking? Because if we wanted to care about them looking, you need to lock her the fuck up, because that's the only way dudes aren't going to look at her. So what he said was ridiculous. Women can do what they want as far as showing themselves. If they feel good and look good, then look good. And it's actually inspirational to moms that can still look good. It is what it is. So I support her. I support my woman looking good sitting here doing a little much. My woman does too much all the time. I tell her that, but I just laugh, but it is what it is.
How do I do too much?
When you show off some tight pants, it's just too much. But it is what it is. If this is how you're going to continue to dress, you're allowed to a little bit. You want to dress inappropriately as a mom? You always want to be a MILF in the street.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
So it is what it is. I'm cool with it, because a woman's going to get looked at regardless.
Not all women.
But how a woman dresses does affect some of her looks, clearly, obviously. But a sheer dress is all she was wearing, and these women wear nothing outside, and he's upset about a sheer dress.
So here's my response to you and to Darius. There is no ring and last name change on her finger, and I'll leave it there. There's no ring on her finger. So I can see both sides of this, and let me explain. I don't see any of his sides, because he has not made this woman a wife. So that's where the story, in my opinion, ends, point blank, period. If you're not, she's a single woman. I don't care how many babies he puts out of her, how many, whatever he does, she's a single woman. Now, should she respect her partner? Absolutely. Is her last name Dalton? No, it is not. So I can't say nothing else. Like you're not her husband. You got her knocked up and didn't even make her a Dalton. Is that his last name? Let me make sure. A Dalton, whatever his last name is, Dalton. So it stops there. Now, I do applaud him on one end for, having morals, and I applaud him for, I guess, having morals. He's saying he said
can't wear a sheer dress.
I want to get my opinion like you did. He said that it's his morals, and he's going to be condemned for having his morals. So I respect the fact that you have morals. And let's say it was a different situation where this was his actual wife. Then my opinion might be very different, because I feel like as a wife, you need to respect your as a wife or a husband. You got to respect your partner's wishes. That's one. Two, if they were married, I would have hoped that they had known each other long enough to where he understands, this is my wife, this is how she dresses, whatever the case might be, and, go from there. I also feel like this is a red flag for Keke, and I hope she runs, because no one even knew who a Darius Dalton was before Keke. What we do know is Keke. We all stand for Keke, Keke Palmer. And I don't know her personally. None of us do. But what I do know is that she has a very outgoing personality. Okay. And the fact that he has to know that if we know that. And it feels very insecure. It feels very red flag that he went on social media, didn't even go to her behind closed doors. This is your baby mama. I'm sure you have her phone number. Why would you intentionally, publicly humiliate your child's mom? For what? So to me, that's a red flag, and that screams insecurity. And honestly, I feel like she should be grateful that he's showing her this red flag now, so she can get out of there.
Well, dudes aren't like me aren't going to respect what he said anyway. It's just clownish. So
it's clownish, but it's also a red flag. And I feel like God gives us signs. A lot of times, they've had the kid. Again, I don't know what Darius does. I think he's an actor or maybe
a personal trainer.
Okay,
I think he's a trainer.
Well, boo to that. I thought he was upcoming. I thought he was trying to I thought he was trying to be an actor. But regardless of what
I just saw that on a clip. I don't know.
Regardless of what he is, he's an insecure man. Like, that's all he is. Like, he's an insecure man.
He might just want to be controlling. Some men are controlling.
And controlling equals insecurity.
In some, yes, it is some instant ways, but it's worse than that, because these men that are controlling, we all have our own life to live and lead, and they want to dominate it. You're not God, so it's deeper than that. But we'll digress.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is definitely a red flag. I think that
it's a major flag.
Yeah, I think that she should be grateful. Like I said, I think she should totally be grateful that he's giving her this sign now, even after the fact. I've heard
publicity.
What?
Publicity.
You gonna try it again?
No.
I heard that he has even, I don't know if this is kind of gossip, but I did hear recently that he tried to fly some woman out because I guess he unfollowed Keke on social media, and then he shut down his social media, and then he went back on social media and then hopped in some woman's DM to fly her out. Like with whose money? With Keke's money? Like he's a nobody. Silly. Like, and God forgive me, he's not a nobody. We're all somebody. But I just don't respect that he did this on Front Street, even if he had these certain opinions about what she wore. As a grown-ass man, which he's not, he should have called her or waited until she got home and said, hey, I didn't prefer what you had on or how you acted, blah, blah, blah. And that could have been a conversation behind closed doors.
Well, again,
but for me, what he did, to me, it feels like he set out to intentionally humiliate her. And I feel like the fact that he had that kind of intention, nobody holds a gun to nobody's head to post anything on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere. So the fact that you actually sat down and said, I got her phone number. We live together. She has to come home. Screw all that. I'm gonna go on social media and I'm going to actually embarrass her.
Well, this is the problem that backfired on him, because I think that when people actually look at his comments, they can think he's the one who's ridiculous. I don't really think. Again, you see how I look at it, I don't think it humiliates her at all. I think more like what you said, it's a red flag, or in it's woman terminology, in my term, he's just a clown.
Right.
He just is saying something stupid. Again, I don't care if you're married, not married, engaged, or on your first date. You can't stop another nigga in the street from looking at your woman's ass unless you're just going to shoot him.
Well, her ass was out.
I don't give a fuck if your ass is out. Some niggas like little booty, small booty. It's just natural for a man to look. I don't give a fuck, and then that's why women.
I'm making clips out of this, so please don't be cursing.
I'm sorry. That's why they do the BBL, whatever type of treatments, because they know you women know we're looking at your ass. Why else are you doing the BBL? Why else are you wearing the slimmers? Why else are you doing this? Why you got the girdle / upgraded
why you got a
slimmer
beard
on? Because I don't like to shave.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
I get really tired of you coming for women and stuff like that, because you forget that men have their makeup, men have their form of, waist trainer, men have their form of BBL too.
Look, my point is not that women, I appreciate anything a woman wants to do to her body to upgrade herself. Women are allowed to do whatever they want. What I was just saying was not worth an argument, y'all.
Don't dumb down now. Stay with it. Stay with it. If that's your opinion, because you've said it several times. But I just feel like, I don't respect that. I don't respect him, and I don't respect that at all. At all.
No, he didn't pick up fans. He went.
He lost fans.
He lost fans.
I feel like they're set out to cancel him. No, I mean, obviously he didn't even. I know.
Podcast more credibility than he deserves.
Because no one knew his name. No one knew his name.
No, I thought he was the
guy
he was a
from
weirdo. Family Matters when I saw the first name part. I know this.
He's a porn star.
Then I saw him. That's cool. But then I saw him. He looked like he was from an Indian reservation. When I saw his pictures, I know the fuck he was. It is what it is. I saw his picture with her, and I was like, she had a baby with this dude. I was just like, man. He wants to comment. I said, this dude's a straight weirdo. And he's not humiliating her. He's humiliating her because she had a baby or was with this scrub.
So let's flip it. Let's flip it. And I want you to be honest. I want you to be super, super honest. If you were married, let's just say you were married, and you had a wife that went out and had on something to where her butt was fully out, like thong, butt fully out, like naked, fully out, you be fine with that?
No, but that's not what he was commenting. He was commenting on a normal dress.
When she turned around, so maybe you don't have all the information, because when she turned around, it was see-through from the back. She had on a thong, so her whole butt was out.
Again, that's a little bit more inappropriate. However,
does that change your opinion now?
No. The part, which one I'm glad I brought up, the only part of it that I understood that made any rationality of sense from what he said was he didn't like the fact that she was up there twerking with Usher he felt some sort of way because they're in a relationship and she's out there being flirty with Usher. But that's an acting. He does that all the time. I mean,
right? It's a part of the show.
I mean, and this dude Usher's a legend. And so if you can't respect Usher doing a dance with your woman, you're really insecure because this dude is the most. The women love this dude like none other. Not only that, it's a show, but like any woman would love to get on stage with Usher and do their. I know I would, child.
Listen, my man would be mad at me.
Well, not real mad because. I'm not insecure about Usher Raymond. You know, I
give both of us a check.
You know, and I'm able to cash it. Hopefully,
I know you would.
Shit, there's a couple of legends in the streets. Usher is one of them, and so this dude's hating for no reason. Yeah. He just looks stupid. You know?
He made himself look dumb, and I honestly, you know what I'm waiting for. Here we go with the noise. Go ahead.
Drink water, people.
You know what I'm waiting for? And you know what excites me? Because I'm all about women power. What excites me is when she pop out with her little 45, 50-year-old man millionaire and she looking good and she even more naked with a millionaire. That's what I'm excited. I'm excited to come back to you with that story because I guarantee you that's what's going to happen because she's looking good. Her baby body looking good. And a good point Jason made is that she's empowering, so many women. I don't think she's had any surgery. She just had a baby and got the benefits of having a body, from having a baby. And one point that you made that was really good that I didn't think about is that she's definitely empowering, other mothers to feel comfortable with their new curves that they get from having a baby versus trying to like hurry up and have surgery to be a stick figure.
No, women need to embrace who they are. They need to feel healthy in their body, in their own skin. And everybody knows what that feels like for themselves. But women are embraced and beautiful at all sizes. I think it really is about a woman's confidence, what type of level of freak she has inside her. If you listen to the sex tips episode. What kind of freak?
Wait. What do her being a freak got to do with her being confident in her body and her clothes?
Well, that might actually make her walk with more swag.
Okay.
She can turn the nigga out. Have him making the weird noises like he's some sort of woman.
That reminds me of a time.
You have to do something more recent.
No, sweetheart. Really? And I'm going to. But at the end of the day, I remember that time. Listen, I'm not even going to do you like that. So yeah. So anyway, I feel like we're kind of on the same page with little Darius, child. And you can go by your cancel, whatever. Next hot topic, guys. Now this was a very interesting story that totally hit home to me. I'm gonna play a clip because now that audio is working. I want you guys to listen to something. So for all of you guys who have the OWN network and you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, I love that show. With the Holts. Normally what's in the news is Martell and Melody Holt. But there's a different Love and Marriage Huntsville couple in the spotlight this week. I'm gonna play you guys a clip and I want to get your opinion.
Where despite that much of a sexual person, to where despite what she's going through right now, you still feel like there's a happy medium in terms of her pleasuring you.
There's a difference between wants and needs, all right? And I'm a person who actually needs sex, not a person who wants sex. Now, at times I want it, but I actually need it. Life throws us curveballs like what we're going through right now. What Kimmy is doing is admirable as a spouse. To roll over and suffer through it, fakes it all for me. Because at that moment, it's something that she completely didn't desire, right? So I look at it as her
that much
standing by me while I'm standing by her. As difficult as it may seem, we should all feel that we would be better people and say, oh, no, I don't want or need sex for however long it takes for you to recover. But we then live in reality where that's not true.
I want to ask you this. You need sex, not want it, you need it. Obviously, there's things we need. We need oxygen. We need water. There's certain things we need in order to be able to live a healthy life. Why do you need sex?
I need sex like Carlos needs mess.
And that's where we are. So, okay. If you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, or even if you don't, Kimmy is his wife, and Kimmy has recently been diagnosed with, I think, breast cancer. And he was on an interview, and he was explaining how, you know, it's very admirable that she can turn over and take, you know, sex, and how basically, I think he even said on one part of the interview that we didn't play that, you know, that's kind of her job as a wife to make sure that he's sexually fulfilled. And, you know, even though she has cancer, he respects the fact that she turns over and takes it because he has a very high sex drive. Now, Jason, I know you can relate to this. What are your thoughts?
I'm qualified to speak on this topic. I understand where he's coming from 150%. I've actually been, though, very timid and calm with my sex drive recently, now that I'm 40 plus. So I've been very patient. I'm actually getting more patient as I become a middle-aged older man. So I'm becoming more patient. Now, what I understand from what he says is very simple. I mean, for some men, he says that he needs sex, and some men need sex. I mean, from the manliest man to the girliest man, they still need sex because it stimulates health, endorsements, something to live for, something happy in somebody's life.
Endorsements?
Endorphins, which will turn into endorsements, you know. But a man, it improves. It's a scientific fact that sex improves a man's health, cardiovascular health, mental health, and can allow him to live longer. So sex is actually, and so if a man actually feels like he needs it, he does need it. Now, when someone is going through chemotherapy, to suggest that they should roll over and take it whenever comes off a bit insensitive. However, he feels like she can roll over and, you know, maybe, you know, he only needs a few minutes. So, you know, that chemo she won't die off of that. So just give him his few minutes. Because otherwise he's going to have to find, you know, sister girl or an escort.
He doesn't have to do anything.
Because of the need that he feels. And let's just be real on the Meloney P podcast, because that's what I thought it was about. I mean, real raw. That's scary. That's scary. You know, shout out to Sheldon for, you know, the intro that just kills it. But look, this is what it is. I mean, I'll toss it back to you, man.
Thank you for tossing it back to me on the Jason P podcast. Disgusting. I'm very disgusted. Now, again, you know, like you said, we keep it raw and transparent. We just had a baby together. Okay. A little over a year ago. And, while we were together, my sex drive went totally down because after I had Bailey, our baby, something happened to my libido. And like Kim, I did turn around. I did turn over because even for me during sex, it was very uncomfortable and fearful having a baby at my age and having sex. But I did it as much as I could. And then
he's looking for more sex.
You're cutting me off.
He's looking for more
Jason,
sex.
you're cutting me off again. You talked for a million years, and I didn't say anything.
Finish your chemo. That's comparable.
That's not funny.
No, it's horrible.
That's not funny.
No, it's not.
And that's too far.
Don't compare what he's doing. Please.
I'm not even done comparing because you cut me off.
I wasn't done with my take.
Anyway, if I can get myself out, you just threw off my rhythm. So anyway, you know, so I can understand how that feels to, obviously I don't have, you know, cancer, thank God, but it's like, I understand how that feels to have a partner with an abnormally high sex drive and they have a need and you don't have a desire, but, you know, because you're trying to do the right thing, then you know, turn over and just, you know, endure it.
That sex isn't satisfying.
Let me finish. Please don't cut me off.
Here we go.
So I understand where that comes from. The difference is she's a wife. And so it's very different because I do feel like as a wife, I would have more of a stronger obligation to satisfy my husband. Really not as a baby mama or a girlfriend like that. No. But like as a wife, I feel like, you know, when you take those vows, I'm very, 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 I take that shit real serious. And so I feel like that's different. But he is wrong for that. I feel like he is saying that, you know, she's supposed to do this and blah, 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 blah. he doesn't have cancer. He doesn't know what she's going through mentally, how bad she feels because she doesn't have a libido. That's a very horrible thing. That is a very horrible feeling for you to be, you know, a very sexual person, and then one, you know, day you wake up and your shit's gone. It's the same, like, men kind of have amnesia, because if a man loses his erection or loses his, you know, stamina or loses his ability to have a sexual desire, the world ends. He feels horrible. He feels low, and, you know, you're supposed to be like empathetic towards it. If a woman's libido changes or if her sex drive changes, oh, just turn over and endure it. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what in the world is he saying? Like, this is another situation where a man is being stupid and he's going on somewhere on social media or going in some interview and making his woman feel bad. Now, Kimmy did go on TGIF Friday or whatever that show is on Fox, and she did, you know, kind of clean it up for him. I think just because she's his wife, you know, she cleaned it up for him and said, you know, she kind of initiated the conversation about her libido and blah blah blah, and how she enjoys having sex with her husband and how it's a loss for her too. But I really do think that as a wife, she was just trying to help make her husband not look so bad in the media.
Well, here we go again. She was also saying that she was nervous that he might seek for sex elsewhere since he has a need if she wouldn't provide it to him. So
she clearly clarified, and I saw it in real time, that she never ever once thought that he would go outside their marriage for sex. She said that she felt bad, but she never had any concern that he would go outside of their marriage and cheat. Well, she said that she felt like the words were misconstrued.
Okay, and I appreciate you clarifying her words from a male perspective. And, you know, to not be politically incorrect any more than I always am going to be. Any more politically incorrect than I already am. Child, I'm very politically incorrect if you listeners don't know.
Always.
I just don't have a problem with it because we're all mere morsels in this galaxy.
Mortals, not morsels.
No, we're so small other than this podcast that we're just a morsel in time. So I'm going to say what the fuck I have to say because your little opinion doesn't matter.
Who?
Anybody's.
Oh, nigga, you better get this shit together.
Shit.
Who you talking to?
The bottom line is, it just looks bad on paper because she's going through chemo, and you still need her to turn over. So, dog, you bumping.
I can see you doing that.
Pumping her,
I can see you doing
that. You know she's got cancer and tumors in her body with chemo, and you need to. Chemo's over, shawty. Turn over in about 6 hours.
But let's be again raw and transparent. Did you not do that to me? Not with chemo. Not with chemo.
That's horrible.
So let's take chemo out. But when I was pregnant,
let's take chemo out. When I was nothing else to talk about. Let's not even compare.
No,
knock on wood.
When I was pregnant, when we bind that in the whole. Didn't even do this. Whatever.
Please, so let's move on.
I'm doing that, and you're talking about it. Let it go.
Okay, so
what I'm saying is.
What are you saying?
Because I'm being raw and transparent, so don't cut me off like you've been doing a whole podcast. When I was pregnant, y'all, I got so many examples. Like even recent, fuck pregnant. Let's go to recent. I was having something wrong with my stomach recently, like some type of pain in my stomach. And this is horrible.
You don't have a lot of sex.
No,
you're not doing.
Really,
you're doing way too much.
We have more than. Anyway,
we have very little sex. It's not that much, you know. So,
and it'll be none tonight since you're saying that. So at the end of the day, on this podcast, really, please. So what I'm trying to say is that there was a time recently when we were, I was having a horrible stomach pain. I have no idea what was wrong with me. Like I don't know what was going on with me, but it was horrible. It had been a couple of days since we had sex, and I knew that you couldn't wait no more. So I was in pain. I turned over on my stomach and I laid there.
I don't want you to be hurt.
Let me finish. Please respect me. Respect me, please.
Here we go.
Because I'm trying to make a point for our listeners and for you. And I'm not even a wife, okay? I'm just, okay. So at the end of the day, I was in so much pain that I turned over, and with every thrust, with every pump, I was in tears. I was literally in tears, like tears. Not only, I wasn't in silent tears, I was in vocal tears, like tears. And I was like, oh my God, this hurts, but crying. And you didn't stop.
That was only one time.
No. It was one time.
Yeah, but I felt bad about it after.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You didn't feel bad when you were coming. You were coming and you almost
good.
fell over me. Oh, really?
No, and that's why I wouldn't do that with chemotherapy.
Number two. That's number one. When I was pregnant, I was very afraid of having sex pregnant because I didn't have to do that my first time around. I was very afraid.
We had little sex,
and I had to buy this thing to lay in, and it's so sick. It's so sick that you say we have little sex. When I know for sure we're having more sex than most people that I personally know, and don't do that. Please read the room seriously. But secondly, when I was pregnant and I had sex, I was uncomfortable. I was scared, but I did it. And women do this all the time. This woman has a deadly disease. And what is she worried about? Her husband coming. It's just horrible. It is too much and it's horrible.
He should be, again, I don't agree with, I understand how he feels. I think he's going to a little bit. He should give her a little bit more breaks.
A little bit more breaks? Or a lot?
No, I understand why.
All the breaks. She deserves all the breaks. All the breaks.
She still has to roll over occasionally.
I know you don't mean that.
Yes. I understood. It's like she's alive still. I mean, I know chemotherapy must be horrible, but she's still alive. So she still occasionally needs to turn over.
If you only knew, because that really says a lot. It explains a lot.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
It would be less frequent than what I would require from you under yours. And I felt bad. I don't want you to be in tears unless I'm real desperate.
You didn't stop. I was literally
because I needed to nut. I mean,
you don't need to nut.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Otherwise, you get blue balls.
You don't have blue balls, and you haven't had blue balls.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
I have had some. That's not.
I've never in my life, like women joke about, lying about not wanting to have sex. That particular night, I'll never forget that shit, man. Laying there, and I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't remember what was wrong with me, but I remember that I was in so much pain that I couldn't even use the bathroom. It was like horrible, and I've never experienced that before. But just because these men with these abnormally high sex drives, you feel bad and you feel this obligation. And again, she's a wife. So it's like, I couldn't imagine how I would have felt, that way. But it's just like that pain with every thrust.
I was being gentle.
You were not.
Yes, I was.
You were not. You weren't.
Probably because of how sassy you were.
So yeah, man, we don't stand for you, Maurice. I know I don't. And I just hope the tables are never turned. That's the thing. Karma's a bitch, man. And I really hope the tables are never, ever, ever turned. I really do. I hope the tables are never turned on you, though.
So he gets chemo and she forces him to strap down and suck his dick?
Yeah. Well, no, the tables turn would be no, you're backwards. The tables turn would be to strap him down and have her eat her vagina. That's the tables turn, sweetheart. You're lost.
He might want to eat.
This is horrible. This is really bad.
Here we go.
I feel like, this is another episode, but it's like when you have somebody that, has a higher sex drive, it's just a lot. It can be a lot when you're coming through life-changing situations, like having a baby. Like I felt when my libido went down, I felt so bad, and I was taking pills and all kind of things because I felt so bad, and then to have the pressure of someone, hounding you, it's a lot.
It's horrible.
It's a lot.
I tried to do better, but some people have a need. I didn't try to be as quite as hard as Marie, but are you still feeling the same way with your libido? You still feel like that? Or do you feel like things are settling in after having a baby?
Settling in?
Are you feeling a little bit more like your normal self with your sex drive?
Well, there's other things going on that are not for this show, so no comment. But for our last topic, guys,
baby weight.
Excuse me?
You lost all the baby weight, but you still have the same baby libido, right?
For our last topic, most recently we had Essence Fest, and go ahead and drink it. It's so loud. Don't do me, and here's what's happening. You're looking at my drink. Make sure I drink it all because you think I'm going to have great sex if I drink all this drink. I know you. I'm in your head. I know you.
No, you prefer that. It should be less ambitiousness.
Anyway, for the last hot topic. So most recently we had Essence Fest, which I hope I go to that next year. I feel like every year I say I'm gonna go to Essence Fest, and every year me and my friends forget to go with our lives. But India Arie, child, I'm not my hair, brown skin, blah blah blah, ready to love.
Yeah, it's good in the shit of your clothes. No matter where you live, it was always be.
The India Arie. You loser. Okay. Brown skin.
Ooh,
you know I love brown skin. You don't got no brown skin. You don't got no caramel skin.
It's a little caramel.
I'll make me a song called Caramel Skin.
I don't know where it begins, you know?
We don't know where your brown skin begins because we don't even see it. Anyway, India Arie voiced her.
It's going to end, though.
What? You're disgusting. India Arie voiced her opinion on Meg Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe's performance at this year's Essence Festival. She commented on Monáe and Megan Thee Stallion's sexual presentations at the festival and called it a lack of discretion. There's been a lot of outrage and commentary about India Arie's comments. Now, India Arie, she's supposed to be a I'm not my hair women activist, and here she is putting two black women down. I don't agree with India. Girl, shut up. I am so tired of people using the internet to voice their lame ass opinions. I mean, I get it. We all have opinions. We're like assholes. We all have them. But don't use your opinion, Darius or India, to put down another black person. Okay? Meg Thee Stallion is, okay, it's a stallion, a horse. A stallion, a woman being called a stallion means that you are a horse. You are a horse. I've been called it several times. You're a horse. You're body banging. You got ass for days. That is me. So at the end of the day, who?
Meg Thee Stallion?
And me. Don't do me, Jason.
Let me see.
If you play your cards right.
I got space.
Well, you lose a spade, so that's not a good example. So I'm so disgusted, honestly, at like India. Where's your last record, girl? Like, I don't like that. This is Essence Fest is such a positive camaraderie of black women to come together and to get together and just be, you know, what's the word I want to use?
Just show good energy. Show congeniality.
No,
it's coming together.
Coming together, basically. And for this black woman to denounce, you know, Meg Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe, people have really been coming for Janelle Monáe since her music video with them other lesbians. Like, who cares? Like, nobody else is complaining. Why are you complaining? Who asked you to make a statement? Like, let them be them. Like, Essence Fest is not Children's Fest. Essence Fest is not Elmo Fest, or it's not Disney World Fest. It's Essence Fest. Anybody who go to New Orleans for Essence Fest, come on, New Orleans where prostitution is legal, isn't it? Like, girl, like, we are not in Disney World. What do you, like, if a bitch on stage showing her titties and showing her fucking ass, who cares? It's bigger fish to fry. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I understand. I mean, with India Arie, I'm old school, so I understand the India Arie because I do like her music. I mean, in all honesty, she's not a looker all the day. She looked all right because I respect women. You know, every woman has some sort of sense of beauty. Every woman has something. What?
You are showered?
Not yet. Every woman has something that's beautiful about her. Okay.
Not every woman.
Most of them, you know. You can find something.
I'm playing. We do.
Okay. Women are beautiful. There's something. Okay. But, you know, India Arie was never known for her body or her face or beauty that way. And so she never received that type of accolade or never got that type of energy but it even goes beyond that because as well, because, you know, she is not, that type of person who she is.
Yeah,
but
that's not
women,
her motto.
again, I obviously support women just being who they are as a girl.
Well, you love Meg Thee Stallion.
Well, I like Meg Thee Stallion until she loses some of her booty. You know, I like
here go the shade.
I prefer her being thick, but
it go to shade.
You know, and Janelle Monáe is way too small, whatever. But I respect her expression and what she's doing. Like, but what really was interesting to me is when India said that this might not age well. Well, we know it's not going to age well. I mean, you know, it's just horrible to say because obviously, you know, when they're about 63 and the titties are 68 and her titties sagging down, she's not going to be holding it out. You know, but women, you know, can keep their sex appeal all day. You know, Madonna still do it. So, but she's saying it won't age well. But Madonna, But also she was
Madonna is in ICU right now.
We've got to pray for a material girl, in this material world. But at the end of the day, India Arie, she's just trying to. Black women are judged. White women, whatever, different cultures look at the essence. They see this. They don't know other things. So I respect what India said in that sense. Also, is just in something that Black women are in a showcase, especially when men, especially in the music, are so disrespectful.
Right.
Towards women. Everything is about sex.
We'll need to put each other down.
Pussy, banging this hoe, whatever the case, talking to women in such disrespectful ways. Then and when you're shaking your ass and wearing short stuff or showing your titties, areola, if they want to use it. I like the eye candy, and I think women should be able to do what the fuck they want. But you're going to get some of these people like India, especially ones who never were the beauty queens, to, throw in their little shade. But
here's the crazy part.
But I can understand from both sides.
Here's the crazy part, yo. All three of these stories is about a nigga, a man, or well, in this case, a woman that might be a lesbian, because let's be clear.
Right.
Policing what a woman wears, how she moves her body. Like, come on, man. Mauricio wants, sex from a woman who has cancer. Here we go with Darius Nobody policing his non-wife. I mean, are we kidding here? Here go India Arie. Is she a man or woman policing somebody she don't even know? Like, I know I got a podcast and I know I'm on here with the opinions, but sometimes keep the opinions to yourself. Keep the opinions to yourself. India Arie, where have you been? Go into the studio, make another hit, and
she
keep
made
it there.
enough money, and I don't think she had.
I don't know about that.
Well, no, she managed it, I think, but I think that she. If she could come up with a hit like Brown Skin, she would, because it would be out here. She's got a few hits.
There's a lot of hits.
Okay,
we just sung two of them.
Okay, so I have respect for her. She doesn't need to do anything else other than just do her little live shows whenever she's good. I think that she is. So the bottom line is,
She's good,
she
but
can say whatever
Essence
she wants.
Fest is about Black women coming together and having camaraderie.
India can say whatever wants because she's a pioneer. I respect India. Bottom line is, she doesn't have much to say because she's not a beauty queen. So she never walked in the shoes of having some ass to show. She hasn't walked in the shoes of having sex appeal to sell.
Yeah.
You've walked in the shoes.
You're right.
Of being a poet and a great entertainer,
and someone who burns
instrumentals.
Incense.
Being that neo soul vibe woman, you have all that shit. You killed it. I like that song too, India. You killed it, but you were not a.
Why are you hiding from? When I was in college, I had my roommate who used to play the song on repeat. It was sad.
That's a really beautiful song, but the bottom line is, look, India, you're neo soul, man, and you can say
Neo
whatever,
soul,
and you've earned the right to say whatever you want about these hoes. If you have more class than them, it is what it is. But the bottom line is, I know all of us can throw glass from a stone house, or we got glass in that motherfucker somewhere, and we throwing stones. So at the end of the day, she can say whatever she wants.
Scary.
Maybe she's, maybe I don't know. Maybe she, but it is what it is. But she did what she did. And honestly, Megan Thee Stallion, has done her thing. She's tried and done well at what she's done. Shaking her ass, so she better not lose any more ass, or else
and
ain't no more hot wings, ain't no more spicy chicken licking ficking wings for you, Meg.
Every time you talk about a woman, or I feel like you're trying to be really shady towards me because I've lost a bunch of weight, and I feel like every time I've got some curves, and every time you talk about a woman,
compare you to Meg Thee Stallion. You got more curves than her.
Whatever you trying to just be whatever, but you keep doing that. You keep trying to throw off on me. I've heard you do it several times. Though I don't like no skinny women.
I don't like skinny women very much. I think that skinny women can be pretty. It's just not enough meat to fill up my plate on a consistent basis.
We're going to meet what's in his house anyway, so
we're going to eat some Impossible burgers.
Anyway, guys, listen, thank you so much for coming to another episode of the
That's Scary. That's Scary.
Are you having a malfunction?
That's Scary.
You had a malfunction right now?
Every week, a new topic, a new guest host.
He's AI. He's not really right here right now. He's having a malfunction.
Talk to him, girl.
That's not even what you said. Thank you guys so much for coming to another episode of That's Scary with Meloney P podcast. Listen, make sure you are on my YouTube and you have subscribed. Now, I got over 1,000 followers and I only see 60 people subscribe to my YouTube. So make sure as soon as you hang up on this podcast, you go to YouTube, you hit subscribe, and then you go to share, and you share it with 5 family members. Okay, make sure you're following me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, y'all. We're gonna see y'all next week, and I'm so grateful. Next
1,000 followers, then Lambo's gonna get on.
No, nigga. Good night, guys.
Lambo be next.